Ехе-хе, всем привет, народ, с вами Херон, и сегодня мы продолжаем бродить по Сумеру в Геншине. Да, сегодня мы продолжаем проходить регион. Сегодня мы будем делать задания, как бы это... Как же мы без них? Но перед этим хочу сказать, я же все-таки сходил не серии в Сумеру, и часто этот метод делать нехер. То бишь, вот знаете, вот эту несправедливость. Чтобы попасть к Нахиде, мне нужно, я так понял, делать задание. Ну ладно. Это так уж и быть, это специально против хитрожопых, как я понял. Но, по сути, в городе делать нечего. У кузнеца рецептов крафта нет. Это за задание мира, я так понял. Я такой думаю, да ну и... Взял в интернете, нашел, ведь оружие не для меня. Я такой, значит, заготовки брать для них не буду.
All right, let's continue our conversation here,
В
shall
смысле,
we?
заново?
To be honest, I hadn't realized that you're that honorable.
А это мы видели в прошлой серии.
And honestly speaking,
Это типа за то, что Калей
right.
больна.
Ever since she was a child. Yes. At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness in its final stages. The disease.
That sounds terrifying.
Можно как-то быстрее пропустить, я это уже видел.
Hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting a little
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precise with a point, nevertheless.
what?
Ah, anyway, the person. I have no idea how this.
Да-да-да,
However,
видели,
Kale is
читали.
Oh, by the way,
She doesn't need.
well said. Kale once thought.
Don't worry, Tainari.
Well, it's not though. She was interested.
Сейчас мы эту всю фигню пропустим и пойдем уже дальше.
All right.
Я думал, блядь, она меня ведет уже к лекарству, все такое. Оно не, нифига.
Tainari? Where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Nilotpala lotuses can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharville.
Given the name, it sounds like
Нужно
we
искать
should
в
be looking
воде.
for it in the
Надеюсь,
water.
нет. На
You are
берегу
correct.
давай.
Nilotpala lotus grows in the water. When fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me.
Та-та-та-та.
The
Мужики, не
large
надо.
petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that many of the plants found in Sumeru have names that are contrary to their species.
Кстати, насколько я
Take
знаю,
the
их надо бить
Kalpalapa,
разными
for example.
стихиями.
The plant is not a lotus at all, but rather a vine. And then there's the Sumeru rose, which is not a rose, completely contrary to its name.
Oh. Huh.
Да,
Okay
ёп.
then. New Tapaima.
О, видишь?
Better bring up the topic of flowers with Tainari.
Теперь эта штука другая. Да не, падает то же самое. Этот вид живучих грибов принадлежит к созданию трилакшаны. Ага. Ага. Понял. Допустим, понял. Сахарок. Неплохо.
There should be Nilotpala lotuses growing
Ладно,
somewhere in
сегодня
this
давайте
area. If you
разделимся
can
и
manage to
поищем.
gather 4, we'll rendezvous here once you've gathered the.
4 штучки. Ну, я их уже вижу. Потом в описании, что он их сказал, их реально легко найти. А.
Alright, we've gathered enough new Atwala lotuses. Let's head back to meet Tainari. Hey Tainari, we found the look.
Let me take a look. Good, very good. I'm quite glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here.
Hey,
Nada.
Tainari!
Oh, Tainari, someone's calling.
Ah, yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? Let's go find out what's going on.
А там проблемы. Какие-то проблемы. Отвечаю, зуб даю.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandar.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
Зона выдания.
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already clear just a week ago. It reappeared so quickly. Can you tell me the exact location?
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area, so we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading. So we didn't risk getting any closer.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll
Нас
go
с
deal
тобой,
with it right
Моня.
away. In the...
Тоже хочу с этой штукой воевать.
Why don't you let us help you?
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands.
Хороший повод узнать.
There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called the withering. The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't carry a vision, then you should think twice before approaching such places.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous place. As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist the withering's corrosive effects for a time.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities deal with it, like Tainari here.
Хоть у него уши огромные.
Only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal with it. But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, he may not have a vision, but he's a real pro at using the power of the elements.
It seems the rumors about you are true. In that case, we typically only teach visitors how to identify the withering as they're about to leave Gandharvaville.
Да и
We'll make an exception today.
с
Show
радостью
you what it
присоединюсь.
looks like up close.
Вступительного взноса ж нет на эту экскурсию, да? Ну, зашибись. Или придется отработать ручками.
Stop. Don't move any further. Look there in the distance.
Where? Oh, look! Those plants have withered. That whole area is kinda gloomy. Even the air looks like it's filled with ash. Oh, Paimon doesn't like the look of this.
That is the withering. All right, traveler. We're going to have to enter that withering zone. Once inside, we'll need to look for what we call tumors of the withering. Thank you, but I must warn you. Even with elemental powers, once you step inside the withering zone, you may experience extreme You ready then?
Ну,
Let's go.
подмерли.
First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone.
Все ветви поддержки. Это вы про них? Так, ужасное увядание. Зона увядания является конкретным местом. Место для развития сила. Здесь накапливают увядание. Скорость накопления от того, в каких областях вы находитесь. Так, в зависимости от количества накопленного увядания у всех членов вашего отряда уменьшается сопротивление всем элементам. Пи сопротивление и макс хп. Чем больше разложения накопится, тем сильнее снизятся эти показатели. Если вы останетесь в зоне увядания после того, как накопится максимальное количество увядания, все члены вашего отряда лишатся сознания. Так, используйте силу дендрогранумов, чтобы нейтрализовать увядание. Только так вы сможете уничтожить ветви увядания, которые распространяют эту разъедающую силу. Когда все ветви увядания в зоне увядания будут уничтожены, вы сможете разрушить опухоль увядания в сердце зоны. Так, многие зоны увядания могут быть уничтожены таким образом, но в зонах увядания могут появиться свечи жизни и пламя жизни, которые уменьшают накопление увядания. Подготовьтесь войти в эти зоны. Понятно. Чуть-чуть понял. 17 тысяч, нихуя. Уменьшает? Что ни хрена не уменьшает, как по мне. Заряженная атака или чем? Так, дендрограмм это понятно, что такое.
Right here. Emerge. Right here.
Ща, минутку. Так, это чудесные духи, сопровождающие проявление благодатных ветвей. Они являются дендрограммами, которые символизируют защиту дендра. Так, при нанесении заряженных так прицельных также будут атаковать. Кроме того, во время ваших приключений будет появляться объекты, которые можно активировать или уничтожить только с помощью силы этих дендрограмм. Ну. Или я не ту штуку бью? Я не понял. Видимо, не ту, надо вот эту ветку атаковать. О! Так, опасности в зоне увядания. Кроме самого увядания, в зонах увядания есть и другие опасности. Монстры, разведенные этой средой и растущие здесь ветви гниения, будут нападать на персонажей. Ага. Ой. Ага. Понял. Понял, принял. Но что-то никто не появился. Все? Или что от эту штуку надо? И сколько раз я ее уже бью? А, вон еще.
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
Так, сама опухоль. Ах ты тварь.
Emerge. Right here.
Ман больно.
Now, destroy the tumor of the withering.
Да блин, 3 удара, елки-поки. А. Понял, протупил, извините.
We did it! Everything's returning to normal now.
Yes, thanks to you two. We were able to quickly restore this area back to normal.
Tainari? You make it sound like
It's that obvious, huh? Alright. Recently, the rate at which the withering zone appears has been increasing. Even though we were able to quickly clear that withering zone, if that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. For instance, even though we cleared out the withering zone, many of the plants that were... This presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants in the rainforest are already in decline, and most disturbingly, as the appearances of withering zones have started to increase.
Huh? Well, why's that?
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received word from acquaintances that none that we know of. The withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's by the way. Have you heard of Irminsul? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't like any tree we know in a biological sense. You can basically think of it as a large tree that I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul, spreading and extending from a massive cavern deep underground all the way up to the surface. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world, which are then funneled into Irminsul, allowing it to collect knowledge and wisdom from ancient... The Dendro Archon is known as the God of Wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. And as for the withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukadevata's familiars a long time ago. I'm afraid we rangers will be battling the withering zones here for... Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time.
Ну, в принципе, понятно. Так, блин. Ладно. Так будет быстрее, в принципе. И когда я уже с этого в город пойду? Ой. Ой. Не, регион мне нравится. Прикольно.
Oh, Tainari, you all made it back.
The withering zone you reported has been taken care of. No need to... Huh. Wait, is that...
Чё это?
Oh no, Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's...
Oh, her? How could we forget?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Just let Paimon read it. Huh? All Paimon sees are 3 squiggly lines.
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, she must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey,
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines.
Короче, на 5 дней не жрала, я понял.
Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like...
wait, you want us to bring her the rations?
Let's find out. Here. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? But wait, how'd you know that he'd be okay this time, Tainari?
Back when we were clearing the withering zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the dendro element. I knew then that he would be
Когда это?
fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsol's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw while you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all. Because what you saw is of significant importance. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukadevata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I know when you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsol. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of spirit borneol,
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us?
that was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training.
А,
During that time, she must avoid communicating with others.
ну да, это все объясняет. Да ты пошел. Вернись, сука. Все, птичка на заставку.
Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her. No,
Ну, вот это да.
I should be the one.
Вот это то, что надо. Ой. Ой. А дальше? Нормально. Там где-то штука. Ну ладно. Вижу.
Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing.
Алло.
Hello? Hypatia? Maybe she went out to look for some food.
Либо ее съели
Around
грибы.
the area.
Че морда злобный Итер? Сейчас, смотри. Здорово, блядь. Он хотел ее съесть, да? Ладно, подождем. А, он просто испарился.
There you are. Hi, Paisha. Are you alright?
So,
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Huh? Wait. Why does it look super foggy outside all of a sudden?
И мы уже не там, где были, да?
How things out here end up looking like this? What happened? And where are we? Really? Oh.
Ман. Не, это, конечно, регион грибов, это что-то. Мне еще в первой серии понравилось. Но чтоб здесь еще и такое было.
This place is huge! Paimon knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
Чудесно. До специального отверстия-то до этого? Так, это мы уже читали, погоди. Зарядить. Не надо заряжать. Да ну пустишь ты. Ебать. Древняя комната.
Huh? What happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
Грибы. Все. Теперь я точно уверен. Это все грибы. Что там происходит? Хуй пойми. Что снаружи происходит непонятное. Какой-то ор, крики, блядь. Первобытный янтарь в подземелье. В подземелье Сумеры надо встречать первобытный янтарь, а также проходы, которые заблокированы им. 3 куска первобытного янтаря откроют соответствующий проход. Поднять. Да. Та-та-та-та. О, хоть что-то интересное.
right now, right here.
Да ёп.
I'm always watching. Emerge, right now.
До свидания.
Time for retribution!
Чё это? Стой! Стой! Верни, блядь. Нет. Нет. Верни. Я не хочу сюда, мне сундук надо. Чё это? Да и как мне сундук теперь забрать? Это же надо так, блядь, изично просрать сундук. Ёлки-палки. Мне сюда не надо. Еще сундук. Сундуки — это моя жизнь, поэтому будьте так любезны, не забирайте мою жизнь себе. Вон, мясо, картоха. Вот теперь полетели, теперь мне все равно. Так, а куда ты меня несешь? Вроде как не 3 янтаря надо, у меня только 2. Блять, я ж не сюда вот. А, вон. И все. А. Внутренний двор в глубине коридора. Понял, да. Как скажете, грибы. Как скажете.
This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
Не, ну чё, я в порядке. Я всего лишь брожу, фиг знает где. А, это отсюда нужно сложить вот так вот. Ать. Двери сами открываются, все дела. А. Да елки-палки. Опять лес. О. Здрасте. Доторы? Не.
Strange place. Plotting. You needn't worry about
Right here. Right now. Emerge.
Verdict is
Да ёп. Да-да. Сейчас будет щит.
Here we go. Think you can get away?
Мокрое рассеивание, да-да. Который не пробивается. Что это за приколы?
Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it. We've faced others like him before. What's wrong?
Traveler. Though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your sister. Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes is that of an annoying bug. The bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last.
Ты свой щит сними, я тебе сейчас рожу начищу, а? Чудо, блин. Чего? Проснулся.
What do we do? We haven't. Oh, there she is!
So sweet.
Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the. Oh, guess that may. Anyways, we can talk about this later. Whoa, wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her.
Who is there? Tainari, is that you?
Не. Ошиблись номером.
Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Taina.
Мне кажется, по этой штуке стрелять надо. Чем мы зависели?
See. So, you're friends of Tainari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me.
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some juice dripping from your lips.
Oh. I seem to understand now.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So, you're able to see them too?
Да-да.
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious...
No, I actually do believe what the traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before, and you needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your...
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with... Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh! And then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected
Какой
them to
хороший
see me.
сосед, блин.
Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tainari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Irminsul. Sorry about that.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier... Alright, we're up, Traveler. Today...
Sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other...
С последнего визита Тианари, блядь, это уже сколько, недели прошло? Сделать бенто. Так, вы только мои ресурсы не тратьте.
Done. Let's use the empty box that Tainari... Oh, it smells amazing.
Are you already finished cooking? Smells
Сейчас зависну, наверное. А нет.
Even though everything you mentioned was in Tainari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. And everyone at the academia even lauded me as a genius.
Так что, я новый гений?
You should know that some researchers spent their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with Irminsul as you have.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make spirit-born ale primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her
Думаю, я
powers
понял.
naturally. Anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a...
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was he sensitive to the smell of those plants for such a long time?
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experienced a sensory overload. Taking in any sense similar to the ingredients of Spirit-born Ale would cause adverse effects. Not to worry though. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon. But unless you're using intentional meditation techniques...
Well, that...
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding...
Whoa! You're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Ritaoist Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies. Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful. I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself.
Значит, Титеру бояться нечего.
That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa! So knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous. Aren't you afraid of the risks, Hypatia?
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of insects. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living nearby. I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself. And they have the curious power to make people dream.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Yeah?
Is that true?
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical. Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, those emotions could influence their dreams. The fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the God of Wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter in your sleep. I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia, and went on to become a researcher. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, I suddenly saw a dream again. It was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recall the feeling. I suddenly felt like I was a child again. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be, but I was free of fear. Maybe dreaming isn't as bad as we've made it out to be. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City. They'll look at you as if you've lost your mind.
So, do you have any thoughts about the things he saw when he connected with Irminsul?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul itself. World forget me. What could that possibly mean? If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life. I might have some more answers for you. If you two are ever in the area again, please be sure to come and see me. There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides, I'm already looking forward to tasting some more of your cooking.
Какое-то время затем легли спать в пещере. Ну, конечно, давайте спать в пещере.
Now we know Hypatia is all right and had the chance to ask her some questions.
Так, все. Жалко, эти штуки не со всех сторон есть, на которых летать можно. Ой.
Think about it, Tainari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution to the problem? As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Gulam. Let's at least listen to Tainari's reason for declining.
Ну,
We're here to
умный
invite
человек,
him to the academia,
наверное.
not to cause a scene.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that you came. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone?
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned sage of the Immorta.
Кстати, Амур ты вроде как видел,
So
пока
now
бродил.
I've come here in his stead.
I see. Huh. And I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tainari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kage?
You'll know once you've arrived in Sumeru City.
Значит, сука, какой-то секрет.
And how long will I be required to stay?
There's no definite answer.
Вечность.
Do you mean to tell me that despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Tainari, but
So be it. Come, Gulam, we're leaving.
Бедный Кигнари, блядь. Свалил в деревню с города, чтобы его не трогали. Сука, его и тут нашли.
Tainari, what was that all about?
It's nothing. Some people from the academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities here. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound.
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to
Да.
tarry here longer.
Наконец-то.
I assume you will be heading to Sumeru City, correct?
That's right. We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice. Do you have any idea on how we can find her?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any advice for you there.
Ну да. Простому дозорному не знать, как попасть к божеству.
Well, do you at least know anyone we can try asking in Sumeru City?
Let me think. My trips to Sumeru City have been fairly short. And how about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure.
Oh, what is it?
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukadevata. Some say that this
Типа,
very
блядь,
item is
КПК?
the basis of Sumeru's reputation as the City of Wisdom. Needless to
Узнаем.
say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise. So I'll leave it to them to show you how to use it.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! That's right! Tainari, we have something important to say to Kale before we leave.
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you off.
Thanks, Tainari. All right, let's go!
Farewell, and good luck to you both.
Ну, давай. Прощание и отсюда вон.
I've been waiting for you two. Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Sumeru City. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I'm sorry. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for... There's no need to apologize, Kale. We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be your friends. And we're probably still gonna worry about your condition. But that's because we're friends and we care about you. Thank you. That means a lot. Oh? What? It's my recipe for pita pockets.
Oh.
I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember? Yay! Thanks, Kale. Now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas whenever and wherever we like. I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharvaville.
Да, блядь, ненавидишь, расстаемся.
Well then, I, trainee forest ranger Kale, bid you both farewell. Please visit Gandharvaville again. The rangers will always be ready to assist you here.
Все. Я пру рецептик, пока не пропал. Чудесно. Так, кстати, мне 3 ключа надо будет использовать. Так. Ну, я думаю, на сегодня все. Благодаря телепортам, что я открыл, мы в следующей серии сразу начнем здесь. Ну, начнем возле телепорта, но попрем как бы ко входу. Логично. Алхимия. Магазин Минакери меня вообще, блядь, поразил. Во-первых, я его еле нашел вход в него. Типа, стою с одной стороны, нету входа. Стою с другого, нету входа. Поднялся выше, а говорят, надо ниже. Спустился ниже, говорят, надо выше. Короче, закончился тем, что я нашел на рандоме вход, потому что свалился с дерева. И такой, захожу в магазин, что ты тут делаешь? Я коллекционер, я там то-то продаю, но это уже все зарезервировано. Ладно, что у тебя есть? То, что вы здесь видите, это только, чтобы похвастаться коллекцией, и только на показ, не на продажу. Такой, охуеть магазин. Лучший, блядь. Ну, короче, да. Ладно, ребят, на этом все. Всем спасибо, всем пока и до новых встреч. Пока-пока.